Hello, dear friends. Welcome to Kardec Radio, where we're here to nourish our souls. I'm Norah, the host of this program, Thoughts by Joanna Angelis and Divaldo Franco, through this beautiful and amazing book. It really is transformational, filled with so many messages, daily practices, and just messages of love, forgiveness, and growth. And today's message is really beautiful on how to just continue growing in love. Let us let us read, friends. It says here, the principal victims of hatred are the very people that harbor it. It's a terrible constriction, makes them unhappy, and generates unease in those around them. Again, what we can conclude is if we're generating love, then that's what's around, right? And if we're not, then that's what's happening. And really, friends, these words hold a deep spiritual significance, right? Because it's reminding us of that inner turmoil and external discord that hatred sows if we're there. If the teachings of spirit, in the teachings of spiritisms and including many other spiritual traditions, we are called to cultivate love, compassion, and forgiveness, right? So let's think of it like this, friends. Hatred is a corrosive force that binds our soul, restricting our ability to experience true joy and peace. Despite the challenges, friends, Joanna's trying to help us. How can we be in this mindset, right? So when we hold on to hatred, we imprison ourselves in a cage of negativity, distancing ourselves from the divine light that seeks to guide us towards harmony. And we can see this as like selfishness, right? When we're not really looking at the whole picture, we're not really being part of the collective, we're sort of taking this victim kind of phase of our lives, existence, and putting out all this hatred. But there is hope, right, friends? That's why we're here. We do have a power to transform hatred into love, discord into unity, and suffering into peace, right? And this is the key here. This transformation begins within, right? It's in us. So let us turn our hearts towards the divine and seek guidance in releasing the chains of hatred that binds us. So, for example, we can practice empathy. Let's take a moment each day to step into someone else's shoes. Let's understand their struggles, their dreams, their fears, right? By practicing empathy, such as these examples, we break down barriers and instead build bridges of understanding. We truly see others for who they are. This hatred, right, around us, or if it's us, it loses its grip, and instead compassion takes its place. Another thing that's so important as we're learning through Joanna's message is to embrace forgiveness, which we have been looking at in other sections prior to this, right, friends? And forgiveness truly is a divine act of love. So by forgiving others, we open our hearts to healing and allow divine grace to flow through us, eliminating hatred, right? So even though this sounds like a cliche kind of thing, it truly is a beautiful piece of advice for us to really try to have this in our lives. We've all been in a place where perhaps we are hurt, and maybe that hurt might want to lead that to, I hate this, or even the person or the circumstance. But how can we overcome this hatred, right? So, how about this? We take a moment each day to meditate on forgiveness, asking the divine to help us to go through any grudges or ill will we may hold. Sometimes it takes a lot of prayer, opening up a spiritist book, watching inspirational movies, spending time with nature to really be in this mindset, right? To embrace forgiveness. And of course, cultivating compassion, right? So small acts of kindness have the power to transform lives, whether it's a simple smile, a kind word, or a helping hand, or actions that can truly create these ripples of positivity that extend far beyond the moment. So let's make it a daily goal to perform at least one act of kindness. So by doing so, we'll not only uplift others, but in the end, we're also nurturing a sense of joy and fulfillment within ourselves. And all these things happen to help us, right? Sort of raise the vibration. In the Spirit's book, to sort of come in with that, to cross reference, book 3 moral laws, right? And part with more perfection, selfishness. Questions 917, there's actually some key ideas for us to kind of help us understand, right? That hatred, in a way, is like selfishness because we're not willing to open up to other possibilities, to tolerate, to be more forgiving, right? So, how can we overcome selfishness? The spirits ask. And this is what the spirit Philemon responds, and it's just parts of it, friends, not the whole section. Of all human imperfections, selfishness is the most difficult to uproot. It is influenced by matter, from which human beings still too close to their origin have not yet been able to break loose, as human laws, society, and education all support it. Selfishness will be gradually weakened as your moral life gains dominance over your material life through the knowledge that Spiritism gives you regarding the reality of your future life, stripped of allegories and metaphors, right? Like, it won't be this thing, it will be concrete. Selfishness is based on the importance you attribute to your own personality. Spiritism makes you look at everything from such an elevated standpoint that all sense of individuality is lost in confronting this immensity, right? Not saying we lose ourselves or who we are. It's saying we don't just think about ourselves, but we understand about this collective. That's why the Spirit is trying to help us to understand, again, getting rid of this selfishness, right? Spiritism battles selfishness by destroying self-importance and revealing its true nature, which is beautiful, right? Because it's not all about me, and we start to understand once again what we're truly here for. And this begins again to erode those layers of hatred. Let's finish up what Fenelon says. Human beings often become selfish by experiencing the selfishness of others, which makes them feel the need to put themselves on the defensive. Seeing that others think of themselves and not of you causes you to think of you rather than others. And this is a key for us here. Charity and fraternity must become the basis of all social institutions, the legal relations between nations and individuals. So only then will individuals think less of their own personal interest, because they will realize that others have thought of them. Humankind will then experience the upright influence of example and contact. Friends, I apologize for the phone, but this gives us an opportunity to sort of highlight really what's happening here, right? Once again, this selfishness is coming in. Oh, well, I went through something, so nobody helped me, right? And we're creating these layers of hatred. So I'm not going to help you. And, and it creates this ripple effect. And here, the spirits are telling us when we stop doing that, right? Then it changes. And what is that causes that? It's charity, it's fraternity, it's doing the good, right? And when we do that, as it says here, we sort of think less of our personal interests and start to realize about the humankind and the collective. What a beautiful, beautiful passage. So let us end this message, because I think it's really, really beautiful, this idea for us in a very metaphorical way. Those who possess the virtue are welcome into the kingdom of heaven with open arms, while those who have thought only of themselves will be cast aside on judgment day and left to suffer in loneliness. Oof, it's tough, but not really, right? Because we have chances in every reincarnation, every day, friends, every minute, or every experience, however we want to experience it, we have opportunities, friends, to really release ourselves of this selfishness and not let, for example, a hatred come in. So as we embark on this spiritual journey of releasing hatred and instead embracing love, let us remember that we are not alone. The divine presence is with us, guiding us and supporting us every step of the way, friends, right? So together, let's strive to create a world where love, compassion, and peace prevail for ourselves and for future generations, friends, right? releasing selfishness. We got to release it. We got to let it go as best as we can. And last but not least, friends, may we be blessed with the strength to overcome hatred, the wisdom to choose love, and the grace to live in harmony with all creation. And what a beautiful thought for us, friends. So instead of sitting here and thinking ways to, I'm right, or to think more of ourselves, let's go do something. If we do experience a moment, a challenge, as we read through here, and we are asked to be the bigger person, then we go out there and we do it. It will not be easy, right? But we have the guidance, we have the tools. And if we discipline ourselves lovingly and with lots of patience and grace, friends, we can, right, build much more resilience because we are already resilient, more strength because we are strong, but we can always do a little better, right? Courage and definitely more love because, yes, we have courage and love, but we can always do a little more. And that is the message for today. And always, friends, let us remember that these are our own lives. We're all in different places, different situations, right? But we apply to our lives whatever fits and whatever we can, friends. Okay, so today is 4th of July, so we want to send an amazing 4th of July celebration, thanking God for this beautiful nation, friends. Also, Kardec Radio's anniversary, how special it is to have a platform where we can all get together and study and continue doing this charitable work. Thank you so much, dear friends. Until next week, same place, same time. Let us continue watching all these programs and always remember that we are loved. Bye, friends.